Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Definite, and I want to tell you about this cool app I just found out about. It's called Anchor. It's a real cool app, man. I think you guys will really feel it. It's easy, it's fun, it's exciting, uh, it's free. That's the best part, and you can make money off it, and you can do it from the comfort of your own home, and it will help you distribute to different platforms where everybody can hear your podcast. So if you ever dreamed about making a podcast, download the app today, Anchor.
Miss V.
Hello, hello.
What's happening, baby? What's happening?
Same shit, different day. How are you today?
I'm hanging in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep myself positive. I just found out a good friend of mine, man. She just came back from the doctor. Found out she tested positive for the virus. So
Oh man.
yeah, man. So shit getting a little more realer because now it's affecting people that I know.
Right.
You know what I'm
I've
saying?
had
It's not,
of 6 deaths since Friday.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, man. This shit getting real, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we gonna all maintain and we gonna make it through this. So we ain't gonna dwell on that.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. That's it. Well, I thank everybody for tuning in. This is Definite, and you're listening to Straight Talk with Definite, and we got Miss V back. A lot of y'all was feeling her, man. Y'all gave some good props to her, so I welcome her back for y'all. So y'all could gain some of her wisdom and just positive vibes coming through. You know what I mean?
Thank you. And I just wanted to say, for all of you who are listening and tuning in and give your feedback, remember that all of the opinions and comments and advice given are not to be taken as any type of professional advice.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Spewing what we're spewing and giving our opinion on what we think, our comments and our concerns, and we hope that some of you agree, and if you don't disagree, that it enlightens you. And with that said, let's get it rolling.
Let's get it rolling, baby girl. Enough said. You know what I mean? I figured tonight, we talk about how do you cope with disappointments in life.
That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know me personally, I've had a lot of disappointments, and I can't always say I react favorably. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We want what we want.
Right, and it's always easier to give advice to somebody on how they should act and react, but when it happens to you, it's really hard to follow the advice that you gave.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's funny because we're good at seeing everybody else's problems, but when it comes to our own damn problems, we don't see a thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just easier to look at somebody else and be like, damn, that motherfucker life is a mess. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile, you probably more fucked up than that person.
Absolutely, which is usually the case too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So let me ask you something. How do you deal with it? Like when you have some disappointments, how do you cope with that?
It all depends on what the disappointment is, really. But for the most part, I like to kind of close myself away from everything and think on it. What did I do? What could I have done if I didn't do something? And that's the immediate. Now, mentally, with disappointment, it hurts. Certain disappointments are really hard to get over and set aside. But every once in a while, I cry about it and let it all out that way, because it's always good to give a good cry. And I keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, time is going to keep ticking and you can't stand still in that disappointment. Anytime that I'm reminded of something that disappointed me, if it hurts me that bad, I cry about it again. And what else can I do?
But what about for those who listening who have tried that or have done that and still they can't get it, they can't, get past it.
Seek within. Why is it hurting you so bad? Why are you holding on to it? If it's something where the disappointment could be addressed, by all means, address it. Closed mouths don't get fed. Say something. Maybe a person doesn't know that they disappointed you, and if they do, maybe they need to know how it made you feel. And that's the hard part sometimes, to have those conversations, but you have to, because you can't let it eat you up. And if it's something that you can't control, like applying to jobs and you keep getting rejected, that's a disappointment. Seek within.
Oh yeah.
Seek within.
Yeah. Well, I like a word that you used, and I think that's going to be something I'm going to, definitely put into my vocabulary and my mentality, and that's to address it. I mean, you hit it right on the nail.
Absolutely.
You said address it, and yeah, we can't begin any kind of healing or any kind of process until we address it.
We've grown as a society to deal with things on our own, that when it comes to being disappointed and having to deal with it, it's hard, because you want to now do that by yourself. So you don't talk about it, you don't tell the person about it, you don't try to fix it. It's a vicious cycle that sometimes keeps happening in certain forms of disappointments. But if that's the case, you either change how you went about it, or you change how you went about it.
I'm just letting all that sink in. You know what I mean? Real shit.
Sure.
I'm letting it all sink in. I couldn't have said it any better though. But there's all kind of different forms of disappointment. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Like you said, a job that you really wanted but you didn't get it, or you thought you was about to get into some big money, but something happened and you didn't end up getting it, or somebody that you were really interested in, and you know what I mean, they let you down.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
Better days come tomorrow.
Yeah. Now, for those that do have, people that they're attracted to, but that person's not attracted to them. I mean, how do you deal with that?
Again, inner self. That's okay. It's disappointing, but then look at self. What did you do? What could you have done differently?
Cause that's hard, man. That's hard.
Self.
That's hard. I mean, you talking about rejection now. Rejection with disappointment. That's two things now.
It's an ego crusher.
I mean?
It does. It'll crush your ego, because it's like, well, man, I thought I had it going on. What happened? No.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Again, you can approach the person with a question, like, listen, I'm saying you said no and you don't like me, but could you tell me what it is? 9 out of 10 times, the person's going to tell you, you're either not my type. Okay, well, I mean, what do you want them to do? Or I saw that you were doing X, Y, and Z. Oh, okay. You can reflect on that. Again, turn it to self.
You know what? And that's, when you just said that, that just made me think about a time that I did approach a young lady. And I was in my 20s back then. You know what I'm saying? This is like in the 90s. And, that's when the 40 ounces just came out. So everybody was drinking 40 ounces. That's how long ago.
Good old English.
You know what I mean? I had the St. Eyes though. And anyway, I was me and my man, we was on the train, we was heading to New York, and we saw these two girls, man. They were gorgeous. So, we're drinking, man, we're drunk, and I approached the young lady, and I was, because I was drunk, I was coming out my neck, man, saying all kind of crazy shit, and she didn't give me her number, and I couldn't understand that, and my man ended up telling me later on, because he ended up getting the other girl, her friend's number. And he said, yeah, she said that her friend said you was cute, but she didn't like your approach.